Alright, welcome back everyone. Well, what we've got here is a Honda EU2000i in a unknown condition. I don't know anything about it, how many hours it's got on it, or anything else. These are pretty reliable motors, so my guess is it's gonna have bad gas or something along those lines that are keeping it from starting. So, alright, let's check the oil. Alright. These things are really well put together units. I mean, it looks a little dusty, but other than that, it's not looking too bad. I mean, it's a little low on oil, but it's got oil in it, so, and it's clean, so I think we'll be able to, try to get it running. All right, one of the things is I'm not seeing any fuel in the lines, so maybe somebody ran it out of fuel. And maybe that's all it needs. All right, I'd like to get a idea of what the fuel looks like, so we can see what we're dealing with here. I gave it a pull start, which we can try it again and see if we see any fuel move. Fuel move through the choke is on. Okay. Not getting any spark, or it's not sounding like it's wanting to fire. So we're going to go ahead and drain the fuel out and see if we can't figure out what's going on. Alright, just by doing that little bit there, look at that. That is definitely not gonna run. It don't even smell like fuel anymore. So I'm gonna try to get all of this out of there and see what we end up with. So let me get this drained and I'll bring it back. Alright, looks like we got about a quart of fuel out of there. It's really cloudy. It doesn't look like it has any water in it yet. Maybe it'll form, but we'll have to see. Maybe it had ethanol gas put in it. So what I want to do next is I want to check the spark. So we'll get our spark checker and then we'll give it a yank and see what it does. All right, we're gonna check spark. So got a Harbor Freight job here. Couple bucks, but has definitely been helpful at diagnosing, making sure that you've got everything that you need. So what I'm going to do is I'll set that up for you guys to see there. I've got the switch turned on, and we'll see if we have any spark. Yep. Alright. We've got spark. Maybe it's weak, maybe it's not. Could just be the lighting in here, but we do have spark. So let's put this back on. I would be surprised if there's anything wrong with this thing other than bad fuel, which Sounds like we got it all out of there. So let's get some good fuel put in this thing, and then we'll see what happens. That could be all that it is. All right, let's give it some fuel. What I've got here is non-ethanol fuel. Just give it a little bit. Maybe that's enough to get it going. All right. All right, we've got the fuel turned on. All right. Okay. On the plate here, we've got choke. Hit it to on. Engine switch is now turned to on. We know that we have spark. There's no breakers that are popped, so hopefully we can get this thing to fire. All right, it's not starting. So let's get this air cleaner off of here, and then we'll see if there's anything going on with the air cleaner. Air cleaner looks good. Okay, well, we've got the air cleaner off. Taking a look at it. Let's see if we can't get it to start with a little bit of start and spray. Okay, so it sounded good, and it'll start with start and spray. So now we know we verified that we have spark. We don't have an obstruction. It's got to be a fuel issue now. Let's see if the bowl is filling up. That bowl should fill up with the. It should actually probably drain fuel, I would think now. There we go. Yeah, it is draining fuel. So, and that is maybe our new fresh gas. Let me get another container, and I'll drain that and see what we've got. All right, I've got it over the edge of the counter here. A little bit of fuel did start to flow whenever I cracked that. So got a new clean container. Gonna get it, drain out some of this fuel and see if it Alright, I really don't know much about these, but I do see a fuel pump here, and what I'm wondering is this tank is higher, but I'm not seeing a line going here that goes back directly to the tank for a gravity feed. Then you see this, I'm pretty sure this is a fuel pump here. It looks like a fuel pump. So what I'm thinking might have happened is it might have drawn some fuel over with the starting spray, and I'm gonna do that again and see if it'll draw a little bit more fuel into the bowl and fill up the bowl again. If it does, then that's all that needs to happen, is it needs to pull some of that fuel over, and then it should run. So let's give that a shot. Alright, I think we've got a fuel pump issue, so let's take a look at this fuel pump. Or let's see if, we can figure out what's going on here. Okay, so see this tube here? This tube here is your crankcase breather. Then right here, this would be the fuel pump line going in, and that should probably, so zoom you in here. Alright, if you look right here, this line here is going directly into the side of the block. It's going up to that diaphragm. So right here is a fuel pump. It's just like one that you would have on a bigger riding mower. Then here is the outlet, which is there's another line coming off the other side of that, and it's pumping that through, and it should be pumping it out here. So what we're going to do is we'll disconnect this here, and then we're going to pull it off and see, we'll give it a pull and see if it's pushing out any fuel. It should be, because we got fuel to come out of here, but maybe it's not enough, so we'll give that a shot. Okay, alright, there we go. We are getting fuel. Turn that to off because it is draining all off on the counter. So what I want to do is get to the bowl so we can get this off of there and take a look at this bowl. It looks like it is going to be possibly a 10 millimeter. Is tight. It's tight like a toiga. There we go. Alright, well, let's make sure the fuel is off. And it is draining. Let me get a clip. Alright. Oh my goodness, guys. Alright, this thing, the whole thing's got to come off. Alright, take a look at that. So, I'm going to take and try to focus that. That is horrible. Yeah, we got some work to do here. Alright. Not the best lighting, but look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. So, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to try to pull. I'm going to take a look with a dental mirror and see how bad this pickup is on the bottom. And then may end up pulling this carb off completely and scrubbing it down and getting it back to being clean again. Alright, so See if you guys can't see that there. It don't look too bad. So I think what we might be able to do is try to scrub it up. Scrub this pickup tube there, clean that off, get this bowl cleaned out, and then we'll see if we can't get it to run without having to pull that carb off completely. Alright, well, let's try to get this cleaned out. I mean, there's some serious chunks. I don't even know that. I mean, that's a piece of chrome plating or something there. I drained gas out of this whenever we were earlier messing around with it, and I'm surprised looking at that any gas even was able to drain out of that little hole. So I'm gonna see what we can do with this. You can see it is getting some stuff, but it ain't really touching that rust. You would never know it from the outside of that too, on how bad the inside of this really was. It's got lots of pitting, and you know, my guess is it was probably ethanol based fuel that did it, because of this stuff you see down at the bottom is the jelly stuff that ends up in there, that ends up the water mixed with the fuel that makes like a jelly, and then it ended up creating a space to where it can rust. And yeah, this is pretty bad. So I think we'll at least get this valve out and go from there. Yeah, see, we'll be able to clean that tip up. That'll clean up real easy. There is definitely, you know, you can see through this. So I'm gonna work at this for a while and bring you back with, you know, what I think ends up doing the best on this thing. Alright, so it's about 10 minutes later, and I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I used a Dremel with a steel brush on it, brass brush. It's extremely pitted, so you know, this thing needs to be most likely replaced. The rim is smooth, so I don't think we're gonna have any you know, any leaks from around that. It does use just an O-ring gasket, so we'll make sure that we put that back on. And I think we are okay with this. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to spray a little bit of carb cleaner on the inside on this main jet here, and then you know, take another look at it with the dental mirror, and as long as it looks clean, we're going to put this back together, fire it up, see if it's good. If it's good, then, you know, we're going to roll with it. This, I'll have to talk to the owner and see if they want to replace the bowl. All right, so we got it cleaned out. We got it closed back up. Got the pickup tube on the inside done. Alright, let's turn the fuel to on. Choke was that way. We'll go ahead and choke it out, that way it'll really pull some fuel. And I think we're ready.
You do have to prime this.
Go ahead and crack this open, see if we got fuel there. Yeah, we got fuel. I think I'm going to have to take that carburetor all the way off, and we're going to have to either soak the carburetor, or we need to check this fuel pump to see if it's, what's going on with it. I was really hoping not to have to tear this thing down any further than that. But that just don't seem to be the case. Alright, well, I went ahead and got it set up on a different table here. It's a week or so later. Stiff, so you have to kind of free them up off of that thing. Yep, for that. This one goes to there. That slides off. Okay. This one goes down to this thing, this other one goes down there, so I guess it don't really too much matter. And this goes to here. Alright, let me get a Phillips head. We'll hit these two right here, and then we'll get this top mechanism off. This looks like an automatic throttle control for the idle down feature that it has, or the eco mode. One of my old videos that I did on a Kubota A3500 generator was made in the mid 1980s, and it also had an idle down control. So this feature that's on the front of these, this eco mode, this thing has been around for a while. That eco mode right here, the eco throttle, that feature's been around a long while. It's just been in higher end generators, and this is a higher end generator, so they keep that feature. But it's not a new feature specifically to inverters. They actually use it on conventional generators, and it would kick off whenever you would apply a load. It would do the same thing. So let me grab a Phillips head real quick. Okay, so got this here. So you can see that it's a triple stack combo there. Triple stack combo. It's what I call a bolt, lock washer, flat washer. Alright, well, either way, I don't think that's going to affect that from coming off. Well, hopefully we won't struggle getting that back together, but that locks in there some sort of way. So let's zoom out. Locks in there some sort of way. Alright, so this gasket looks to be in pretty good shape. I'm going to try to save it. I do not have another one and I do want to make sure that we get that back on there. So I'm going to take some time and probably hit that with a razor blade, try to get it off of there. Alright, well, I guess you're going to stay. Yeah. So remember, if you remember right, you can see how pitted that is. Looks great on the outside, but on the inside it's pretty pitted. It has been soaking in gas for a while. So, retainer pin. These items out of the way here. Float with a needle. It's not in bad shape there. Clover, back up, girl. We're going to pull that main jet out of here. We're going to pull that and get that. Clover, you're sneezing because of gas. You need to back up. We're going to keep this O-ring intact. The solution I use for my ultrasonic cleaner is the same that James Cordone uses from his channel. He has a generator repair channel. Excellent content. You should check him out. He is the best out there that I've seen when it comes to generators. Small engines, the best out there obviously is Musty and Terrell. Those guys are providing probably the best content. This is a pretty neat little setup on this little bowl. Spring is integrated into it, then you slide it over and then it'll come out, but it locks in on that spot right there. It'll slide in. You pull this down with your fingernail, slide that in, and then that applies the pressure. So go ahead and keep all of these out. Alright, I'm going to grab a razor blade to try to get this gasket off without ripping it. Be right back. Scraper would probably work just as good on this one. It's not. Look at that. Popped right off. Alright, definitely going to be reusing that. Hopefully we'll get just as lucky on this one. And we did. What do you got to say? It's a Honda. Alright, let me get a flathead that'll fit down in that. I'll be right back. Alright. That came out with no problem. A lot of times they're really, really stiff in there. Okay, so you probably can't see that. I don't have a light. Actually, maybe I do. Let me see if I can use my phone. There is no light coming through that at all. So it was not drawing fuel up. So there be the problem. And now I'm blinded looking down in that. Can't see if there's anything else in there. I feel reasonably confident that we can pull this and get it out of there. Not sure that we're going to need to though. This looks like it's pretty much factory set. You really can't take this out I don't know how you would because you can't turn it, so I'm going to leave that alone. This auto throttle, I'm going to leave alone. This is a just sort of throttle thing. It's not hurting anything. I'm going to leave it alone. Take that off. Don't need it on there for this. So take that and I guess we'll just leave that in place. Alright. I can already see this needle is all the way out, so I don't think it's blocked behind it. And yeah, I think we have this disassembled far enough to do what we want to do. Alright, let me get set up at the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll throw all these guys in. Alright, let's go. All right. Well, the float's floating. That's a good sign. All right, still can't see through that, so we'll take it back over to the table and we'll get it ran through with a wire, and we'll get it cleaned up and sprayed out. Okay. Back over here at the table, I got not sure if you can see that. There's just a thin wire on there. So what I'm going to do is run it through on this. Here we go. Got it to punch through. Can now see light through the other side. Oh, look at that. Can see debris already. Not sure if you can see that there. See that? That's what was on it, inside it. So that had it plugged up. Well, we tried the first method of spraying it up inside it to get it to, without having to pull that card, but obviously that didn't work. We weren't going to get off that easy. So we'll get this cleaned up, and then I'll probably put it back in the ultrasonic cleaner for another round now that we've got it cleaned, and then give it a final cleaning with some carb cleaner, and we'll go from there. Alright, I'm going to run this through here. Back up, girl. Back up, Clover. Back up, girl. Hey, back it on up now. Stay. I'm going to give these two another round. This another round. And the needle and seat look good, so give this another round. These items here, and I think we'll be good. That port's clear. Everything else looks good. So we'll give it another round and we'll be sitting pretty good. Alright, well, we got it sprayed out with carburetor cleaner. It is nice and clean. It's been through 2 rounds in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I think it's ready for reassembly. So this was the item. This pickup tube was down in it, and I didn't even realize it was in there, but we got it now. Then this is going to go back down in there too. I'll try to make sure that gets seated all the way. Sure there ain't no dirt on that. Yeah, that's in there all the way. Yeah, that nozzle comes up. Okay. Alright, I just wanted to make sure that there was no directional hole that would direct it towards the front or the back of the carburetor. So that's in there. Okay. That's in there. Float cleaned up nice. Pull that down. Pop that up in there. And that is ready to go. Slide that back down on your, get your float in there. Okay. So, got no pressure there. Hold it upside down. Like that. Nope. So, float's working. Alright. well, let's get set up and let's give it another shot. Alright, so we had choke on, was that way. Put the choke to on. Put that there. Turn the gas to on. Back up, girl. Okay. Clover, over here. We'll give it a couple pulls. Choke is off. Let that run for just a second, see if it clears itself up. Okay, so I just caught something here, and I got a feeling we missed a return spring that somehow popped off that carburetor. If you look right there, there's a little return spring. So it's a pretty stiff spring, so my guess is it goes somewhere on this up here. So we're going to take this carburetor back off and figure out where this goes. So then we'll do it. But hey, we know now that it'll run. Didn't need any ether that time, so it's picking up and drawing out through the thing. So I think we are, once we get this situated, I think we'll have it fixed. Let's get it back over to the table. Alright, after looking at it, the spring that popped off goes on right there, and then this is going to go in here. Like that. So I'm going to have to finagle it. And then I'll get it set and I'll bring you back and I'll show you. Alright, so the way that I found it easiest to get this spring in was to take this off, disconnect the line, take this black piece right here off the bottom of this servo motor, and then you could fit that spring in there, and then you sandwich it back together and then pop your screws back in it, and then it holds it in place. I shot this thing across the garage like 4 times, so be careful because it is on a gray garage floor. It's hard to find. Hoping this is going to do the trick. So according to the parts diagram, that's where that spring goes. Okay. All right. Now back to where we were at. All right, let's give this a shot. Compressor. Alright, well, eco throttle fixed, carburetor cleaned, I think we got it. Alright, remember, can't fix anything if you ain't out there turning wrenches. Thanks for watching, guys.